Welcome back to the dubbing of the Erdtree, because for this episode and the next episode, my audio cut out again for some mysterious reason. So I'm gonna have to dub over all this gameplay. And maybe edit it down a little bit, the size? We'll see. Anyway, when we last left me, or Avis, or however you want to look at this, we made our way to the bottom of the Shadow of the Erdtree map, and it got into the dark abyssal forest place that is filled with madness. As you can see, the Flame of Frenzy is in the water and in the walls. It is very spooky and unpleasant down here. And I'm looking around at clues. I'm trying to remember. It's been a while since I recorded this, and I was so discouraged when I found out that my microphone wasn't working that I kind of rage quit for a little bit. It's like, gosh darn it. Seek good luck. Bravery required ahead. Yeah, people are offer bravery. No horse ahead. All the more, no horse ahead. Yeah. If you try to horse, the spectral steed is frightened and cannot be summoned. So Torrent, the immortal horse that you've been riding all over the place, facing untold horrors, Torrent does not want to go here. Torrent thinks this forest is too spooky, which shows just what level of spooky we're dealing with. And meanwhile, what am I doing? Oh yes! I put on the black knife set. Because we want to be stealthy. So I'm going full stealth. Full stealth mode. There we go. Now we no longer have footsteps. Very quiet. Be very, very quiet. Don't let it see you. Once you are seen, there is no escape. It cannot even be touched. Yeah. So obviously there's something gnarly in these woods that everybody's leaving messages, including the in-game devs are leaving messages like, hey, be careful, shit's about to get real. And, well, we'll see how I end up dealing with the situation. And even the sheep down here are frenzied. Be wary of enemy. Well, not these sheep, obviously. So for some reason, we get exposed to some frenzy when they bleat or something. Oh yeah, here's an interesting little bit. So, what we're looking at now, as I prepare... Oh yeah, the dry leaf robe. Sunfade, lightly soiled travel attire worn by clergymen. The gold necklace around the breast belongs to a group of spiritual seekers known as the Dry Leaf Sect. The sect rejects the dependence. Something I didn't read fast enough. Yeah, the Dry Leaf Sect, who saw the decline of the Erdtree of the fallen leaves, long ago braced themselves for the weakening of order and embraced a strict faith, and then they made to serve a new god. Yeah, so one of those found his way down here, and, well, the obvious happened. A maddening hand. So I am going to go and prep. And take it out with great violence. Pew! And as per usual, NPCs are really bad at dealing with the glintstone blades. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Maddening hand. gloves stitched together from flayed skin of the victims of a butcher's bloodbath. Afflicts the target with madness. Raises attack power when madness is triggered. Forged with an unyielding black impulse towards revenge fostered in those who were hunted down as heretics by their own brethren. These are the weapons of the utterly downtrodden. They are quite grisly. Oh yeah, the Big Mouth Imp Ashes. Dragon designed imps. Pretty neat. Ooh, the Barbed Staff Spear. Jeez, I had a lot of reading to do still. Here's Staff Jory, Elder Inquisitor. The tip bristles with golden barbs, symbolic of the Inquisition's torture, allowing one to wield the staff as a great spear. Attacks deal holy damage, potency increased with faith. Okay. Yeah, and the Scale of Faith would actually be a decent weapon. Oh, the Death Knight Helm. Golden Helm of the Death Knights, those whose own death mask serves as visors for their armor. The caped golden wheel that adorns represents their unbroken loyalty to Godwin, he who became Prince of Death. An interesting thing that one other YouTuber pointed out is that the golden wheel, the halo that adorns the helmet, so to speak, it resembles the half wound, the curse mark of the centipede, which, of course, Godwin's body and Rani's bodies are carved with. Yeah, these knights will also use personal guards quested to find the transfigured Master's cadaver surrogate for the coming age of the Duskborn. Which implies, indeed, that those bodies of Godwin that we find, like the cadaver surrogate, they're not his actual bodies, they're bodies grown from the death roots that might be able to replace his discarded body. You see people sneaking around. I'm also going to sneak around, but I don't have to crouch to sneak. I can just walk, for the most part. I do a little bit of crouching. I think crouching still helps. Ooh, in the distance there on the far right of the screen, you very briefly caught a glimpse of an enemy. A spooky, spooky enemy. Big old crazy ratty. But we don't have to deal with big old crazy ratty. Big old crazy ratty is not something we need to worry about. Instead, what we are going to worry about is something dying off screen. And grabbing this map fragment, because then we will finally be complete with the map. Yeah! Back! The map of the abyss. Which is a surprisingly large area for how little goes on in it, actually. Find a spooky forlorn church. Touch grass. Refresh. Grab loot. Erdtree fragments. 2 of them. And crazy perfume bottle. Frenzy flame perfume. Not really any particularly interesting lore. I sit down again. I'm not sure why I sit down again. Oh, right. I was checking for Erdtree fragments. No. I can't upgrade the Erdtree right now. The Erdtree blessing. And then I wander about. You know what? I think I'll cut through here. And speed things up a bit. I may as well do a little bit. I'm going to have to edit this all together anyway, so I may as well have to do a little bit of trimming of fat, because now I'm just gonna wander about, loot some things, And only after that do we get to the juicy bit. And we're back. And about to confront... Oh dear lord, what's that? Quietly await your chance. Yeah, those things... a large portion of the community refers to these by the name of a particular Bloodborne enemy, though they have their own discrete name that I have forgotten. But there is an enemy with a very similar design. Not quite a similar function, but close enough that they are analogous. In Bloodborne. So you see here a hunched shadowy figure with a head composed of billions of like frenzy flame grapes, you know, little eyeballs. And if they see you, bad stuff happens. So the trick is to sneak around without getting seen. Ooh. Because otherwise you have to deal with a very nasty enemy that is nearly unkillable. There is an actual way to kill them, but it's a little bit finicky, and if you are really bad at parrying, it's not gonna happen. And I am really bad at parrying. So I am going to sneak around. And those little stalks. Oh shit, I've been spotted. Time to run. And I somehow got away. So that happened. I am very confused how or why. I didn't really think that you could run away from them that easily. But I successfully managed to run away from them. So at this point of the I was a little bit bewildered, and it's like, oh wait, oh yeah, those two guys up on that cliff. I remember because I was here earlier with two friends. I'm not doing this part blind because in Seamless Co-op I've already been here, because the Seamless Co-op gameplay has caught up and surpassed where I am solo. So this is no longer blind. And we also managed to get caught and do some running through here. But I thought that was because we were in seamless co-op and things were getting a little bit buggy and they didn't seem to have trouble focusing on multiple of us. So I managed to run through in seamless co-op, but that's because my two cohorts seem to be doing a lot of the distracting, shall we say. We get a little, a lovely safe spot here. From here I do a little bit more. Ooh. Somebody got caught right there at the grace. That is the death animation that you get when you get caught by one of those things, I think. I have so far not been actually killed by one of them. At all. And I have no desire to try and find out. So that. Here I go and look for, what was it? Oh yeah, there's a cookbook up on this cliff. Bad rats! Get Frosty stepped on. What was in this cookbook? I mean, it's obviously Frenzy Flame stuff, so it's not that interesting for a PvE player like me. Record of the crafting things left by craftsman who served Midra, master of the manse, and Nanaya, its lady. His eyes were burned by the flame of frenzy. Frenzied flame pots, yeah, frenzied flame stuff. Meh. Meh. I mean, it's a cookbook, you still want it, just because, you know, gamer hoarder brain. I must have all the shinies. And from here, it turns into a little bit more of a standard area. There's nothing too gimmicky or spooky going on from this point in the video. Some horn-sent priests. That fire frenzy lasers. There, it'll just shoot you again. And then with only one of you, I'm not going to bother stringing up the bow again. I'll just throw rocks at you. Oh, well, time to move forward towards this manse that they were just talking about. Baby jumps. Not everybody can jump as high as Jumpman Mario. Sorry, Mario Jumpman Mario. After all, the last name is also Mario. There's no particular reason to go up on this little jaunt here, were it not for the fact that I, as I just said, am a hoarder. I want to collect all of the shinies. I also know when the next grace is coming up, so I am free to spend as much FP as I want. That said, I don't have to spend all that FP. I can also, you know, remember that I'm currently wearing the assassinate armor. And assassinate. Have a good butt stab, sir. Or madam. I find it difficult to sex the horn scent. Mostly because they're so bundled up and covered that it's hard to tell what or who they are underneath there. There's just a lot of horns poking out from their heads. Another mad craftsman's cookbook. And there was a second reason why it took so long to record this, which is that my voice was shot from a bad flu. Whee! And go this way to explore. I think I don't find anything except a couple of horn scent guarding nothing of note. I'm gonna snipe them from this cliff just because I can. Ow! How dare you retaliate with long-range lasers? I'm the long-range specialist here. Right, so now I just need a way to safely drop down. Can I make this? I choose to gamble. Oh, hello. Have some rocks. They're purple and shiny. Yeah, the fact that these things, that there's winter lantern flies, as I believe the actual Bloodborne enemy that I was talking about earlier are literally called winter lanterns, I think. So a cheeky little reference from Soft referencing Bloodborne. And infuriating the Bloodborne fanbase to some extent, because for some reason we are not allowed to have Bloodborne on PC. Which probably is down to Sony, not FromSoft, being stubborn bastards. But when has Sony actually in recent times ever been good at making like game development decisions? It's going to date the video a little bit, but Concord and every other live service that they've cancelled over the past couple of years. Yes, a bunch of disembodied, beheaded bodies with weird glowy stumps. I look around the manse for a little bit. I think I'm probably going to speed this up. And then a new legacy dungeon. The Abyssal Manse. Swollen grape. Eyeball of a frenzied flame that is swollen from within. Material used for crafting items. Marked with a fingerprint. Burns. Proof of having been touched directly by the three fingers embrace. Which, interesting, suggests that whoever belonged to this eyeball has been all the way to the capital of Leyndell and back.
Eve. Now. Come no closer. No closer, I say. The man is worse.
And on that note, I think it's time to end this episode. And come back to it in the next exciting episode of dubbing of the Erdtree. So, I'll see you then.